I buried my mother twice. Yes, you heard that right. I watched her die, grieved for her, and laid her to rest, only to find out months later that she was still alive. What would you do if the person you mourned returned from the dead? If the very people you trusted had orchestrated the most unimaginable betrayal? If everything you thought you knew about life, death, and family was nothing but a well-crafted lie? This is not fiction. It's a real-life experience, so shocking, so unbelievable, that it will leave you questioning everything you know about trust and loyalty. Stay with me as I take you through a story of deception, pain, and the ultimate triumph of truth. Sarah's life had always revolved around her mother. Being an only child, their bond was unbreakable. At least, that was what she thought. Growing up, she watched her mother struggle to hold the family together, while her father, a powerful businessman, made all the rules. He was a man of few words, but when he spoke, everyone listened, not out of respect, but fear. Then came the day that shattered Sarah's world. It started with a phone call. Her father, his voice cold and firm. "Sarah, come home. Your mother, she's gone." The words didn't register. Gone? As in, dead? How? She had spoken to her mother just 2 days ago, and everything seemed fine. Panicked, she rushed home, only to be met with a scene that didn't sit right. Her mother's body was already in a coffin, the house filled with strangers whispering condolences. No one explained how she died. No doctors, no autopsy, just a rushed funeral. And when she asked her father what had happened, he shut her down. "You don't need details, Sarah. Just know she's gone. Don't question me." The funeral was over in 24 hours. Everything happened too fast, too controlled. But Sarah, drowned in grief, was too shattered to fight. Months passed, and she tried to move on. The house felt emptier, colder. Her father became even more distant, but something never felt right. Then, on a quiet evening, her phone rang. An unknown number. She almost ignored it, but something, an instinct, a force she couldn't explain, made her pick up. "Sarah, my baby, help me." Her heart stopped. The voice on the other end was weak, trembling, but unmistakable. "Mom?" The phone slipped from her hand. This wasn't possible. It couldn't be. She had buried her. She had seen the casket lowered into the ground. But the voice, the way it said her name, shaking, she picked up the phone back up. "Mom? Mom, is that really you?" "Sarah, please, I don't have much time. They're keeping me here. The call cut off. Sarah's hands were trembling. Her mother was alive? But how? Who was they? And why did her father lie? She tried calling back. No answer. She called again. Nothing. Her mind was racing. Maybe she was losing it. Maybe it was grief playing tricks on her. But deep down, she knew what she heard. She couldn't ignore it. She wouldn't. So she started digging. Her father's behavior, the rushed funeral, the secrecy, none of it made sense. She went to the hospital where her mother had supposedly died. No death certificate, no records, nothing. It was as if her mother had vanished, not passed away. Then, she did something she never thought she would have to do. She dug up the grave. Late at night, with only a flashlight and trembling hands, she removed the dirt from her mother's resting place, her heart pounding in her chest, each breath sharper than the last. Was she about to uncover the truth or completely lose her mind? Then, she reached the coffin. It was empty. Tears filled her eyes. She wasn't crazy. She hadn't imagined that call. Her mother was alive. But where was she? And who had taken her? Sarah knew only one person had the power to make this happen. Her father. And she was ready to face him. She confronted him the next morning. "Where is she?" she demanded. Her father didn't even blink. He sipped his coffee, calm as ever. "I don't know what you're talking about." But Sarah wasn't backing down. She laid out everything. The missing records, the empty grave, the call. His expression never changed until she said one thing: "I'm going to the police." That was when he snapped. His eyes turned dark, his fists clenched, and finally he said something that made her body run cold. "You don't understand the kind of people you're dealing with, Sarah. Walk away, or you'll lose more than just your mother." But that only fueled her determination. She didn't walk away. She didn't stop digging. She followed every lead, bribed hospital workers, tracked unknown phone numbers, until finally she found the truth. Her mother had never died. Her father, in a bid to take over her assets, faked her death, dragged her, and had her locked away in a private mental institution. Sarah was furious. She gathered evidence, alerted authorities, and stormed the facility with the police. When she finally saw her mother again, she barely recognized her. Frail, weak, but alive. The moment their eyes met, her mother broke down. "I knew you would find me," she whispered. Her father was arrested. His empire crumbled, and Sarah, she fought to bring her mother back to life. Not just physically, but emotionally. She buried her mother once in grief, but she brought her back with love. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Always trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Too often, people accept what they are told without questioning. Sarah could have moved on, lived her life believing a lie, but she didn't. She fought for the truth, and in doing so, she saved her mother. The people closest to you may not always have your best interest at heart, so be vigilant, be strong, and never let anybody tell you to stop searching for the truth. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe and share with someone who needs to hear this. And don't miss our live interview this Tuesday with a special guest. Until we meet again, have a brilliant day. Bye.